What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and man oh man have we been waiting for this set for a while. This is Legendary Duelist Rage of Ra, which has all of the new Egyptian god card support that's mainly centered around the Winged Dragon of Ra, of course. It also has a Ghost Rare Ra, it also has the alternate artwork version of Ra that we have not gotten in the TCG, and then there's also some cool other support for some older strategies. We have new Jinzo cards, new Mech Lord cards. This is a pretty exciting set, and this box was sent to me by Konami, so thank you to Konami for sending this to me. I thought we would open it in today's video because, yeah, even if this support isn't going to necessarily break the Winged Dragon of Ra, because let's be real, it probably won't, it is still pretty cool because what these new cards do, if you watched my original review videos of them, is that basically these new cards let players actually use the anime effects of the Winged Dragon of Ra, but you just have to have actual like support cards to do that instead of it all being on one card, and that is pretty cool. So hopefully we can pull some of those. I think this set is like all of the other Legendary Duelists, where you pull a bunch of supers and a couple ultras and rares and commons and stuff. Yeah, these sets I believe still have rares. Also, the new Makyura Rada is in this set, which is pretty cool. So we have Chaos Infinity, Mind Control, common Mind Control there, Mech Lord Emperor Granule, Mech Lord Nucleus Infinity Core for our first super rare there, and Mound of the Bound Creator, an Egyptian god card there. Oh, also I don't own any mats that have the Egyptian god cards on them, so we have the Sacred Beast mat in today's video. That's kind of weird though. I really thought that I did own at least like one mat with the god cards. I don't think there's been a ton released now that I think back to it. Some of the Comic-Con mats have had, or I guess some like con mats have had, I know there's one with Merrick, I think there's one with Kaiba and Yugi that had the god cards on there. We have Brain Control with the errata, of course. I mean, it's been that way for a while, but Jinzo, Mech Lord Emperor, Mech Lord Fortress, and Cosmos Channeling that has Espa Roba on there, which is pretty cool. Character from the anime, of course, that used Jinzo and cards like that. And these boxes have 36 packs, which is pretty cool as well. We have Token Sunday, Jinzo Jector, that's an older card, Monster Born, which we now can search with one of the new Egyptian God card support cards, Mech Lord Astro Dragon, and Mech Lord Deflection for our rare there. It is so weird pulling rares from packs. I never thought I'd say that, but yeah, ever since core sets don't have rares anymore, it's very strange pulling rares out of booster boxes. But still pretty cool. And then you have packs like Toon Chaos that have like 6 rares per pack or whatever. Left Arm Offering, Mech Lord Army of Weisel, Brain Control again, and Blaze Cannon. There we go, an Egyptian god card support. Blaze Cannon is a quick play spell card that says this card is also always treated as a Blaze Accelerator card, so you can search it with a Volcanic Rocket if you really want to. The Winged Dragon of Ra you control gains the following effects until the end of this turn. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. This card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects, which is pretty nice. Obviously a huge boost to Winged Dragon of Ra. When an attack is declared involving this card, you contribute any number of other monsters that did not declare an attack this turn. This card gains attack equal to the attributed monster's combined original attack until the end of this turn. And then finally, after damage calculation, if this card attacked, you can send all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. So realistically, I think when you use Blaze Cannon, you're going to OTK your opponent because your Ra is going to be at like 1 billion attack points. But just in case you don't, with this unaffected Ra with a bunch of attack points, after the damage calculation, you're also sending all monsters your opponent controls to the graveyard. What a crazy card. I like that a lot. And Cyber Energy Shock. Yeah, that is one of the more exciting new Ra support cards, because while it might not increase the consistency of getting Ra on the field, it basically says if you manage to summon a Ra, you're probably going to win immediately. The other cards, though, are what actually gets you to the Ra on the board. We have Jinzo, Mech Lord Emperor Weisel, Metal Reflex Line, which is kind of like God card support, Jinzo Returner, and Mound of the Bound Creator once again. But yeah, it is kind of making me think about what would Obelisk or Slifer support look like. I think I've mentioned this. You probably already know this if you know that Uriah is my favorite Sacred Beast monster, but Slifer is my favorite God card by far, so it'd be really cool to see support for that as well. Cosmos Channeling once again. I don't know, it'd be tricky though, because with Slifer specifically, I mean, you could give it support support where maybe you draw a bunch of cards if you control Slifer. That's always been the tough part about Slifer, is that it's difficult to get it on the board fast enough. Oh nice, there's the new Makyura errata. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, so that's the first downside, you can activate one trap card from your hand this turn, second downside. And the third downside, you can only use this effect of Makyura the Destructor once per turn. So I mean, if they didn't have the once per turn thing on there, you could technically play like multiple copies and trigger all of them. But with that, yeah, you have to send it from the monster zone to the graveyard instead of just anywhere. You have to actually only be able to activate one trap card, and also it's a hard once per turn. But yeah, Slifer support would be pretty cool. I guess it would be something like, I don't know, almost like Fallen Paradise for Sacred Beasts, but for Slifer specifically, where like you draw a bunch of cards. That would be kind of tricky. Nice, a wild monster appears. I didn't know that was actually in the set. It would be kind of tricky though, because drawing cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!, as we all know from cards like Pot of Greed and just other pot cards like Desires and Extravagance, is very, very strong. So you would have to put some pretty hefty restrictions on there. Nice, another super rare. Mechlord Army Deployer Obligato. Okay, this guy's pretty crazy looking. And that is our super, second super there. And Mound of the Bound Crater, our playset of that. We should separate these supers and ultras, but I don't know, this ultra is pretty nice. I don't know how many ultras we actually pull per box here, maybe a couple. Okay, continuing on. Mechlord Emperor Granul again. Boon of the Mechlord Emperor. Mechlord Army of Weisel. Mechlord Emperor Weisel. Nice, we got both of them right in a row. And Mechlord Astro the Eradicator. Cool. Sort of like a crazy looking card there. It's always weird seeing Eradicator in names besides Eradicator Epidemic Virus, because that card is like one of the only cards that actually has that many. This might actually only be like the second card that has Eradicator. No, I guess there's that Eradicating Aerosol card or whatever. Mechlord Emperor Weisel. Reboot Jinzo Lord. Nice. I was just about to say, we haven't really pulled any of the new Jinzo support besides the rare. Jinzo the Machine Menace, a level 7 Jinzo. If a trap is face up on the field or in either graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it becomes level 6 until the end of this turn. During the main phase quick effect, you contribute this card, special summon one Jinzo from your hand or graveyard, then you can destroy all traps your opponent controls. If a card is set, reveal it. You can only use each effect of Jinzo the Machine Menace once per turn. So if playing against Altergeist, you're going to just blow up all their backup, which really sucks for the Altergeist player. Reactor Slime, new God card support. There's also that new one that's like the higher level slime, but the slimes are pretty nice additions to the Winged Dragon of Ra deck. They help get it on the board, and that is always welcome. But for Obelisk support, sort of segueing back into that, I don't know how you would really do that. Obelisk is already a fairly decent card on its own. We have Psychic Mega Cyber. And I mean that like in sort of a way of comparatively to the other God cards. I mean, it has targeting protection, which is pretty good. It has a lot of attack points. The effect isn't super relevant. Probably the least relevant like on-field ability, because you don't really want to attribute your own monsters too much. I mean, it's fine when you're doing it for like Blaze Can. You're getting a bunch of advantage off of it, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they would realistically boost Obelisk with all of these cards that you have in this set for Ra. Ra was probably the weakest of all of the God cards, so it really needed a lot of support. We have Mechlord Assembly for a super rare there. Go to this pile. And we have another Reactor Slime. I believe the other slime card is an ultra rare, if I remember correctly, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Maybe someday we will see Obelisk and Slifer support. That would be pretty nice. Monsterborn, Mechlord Emperor Weisel. Token Stampede, Mechlord Astro Guy. A wild monster appears for a rare in that set. It's also possible that they could just release more support that's just like generically good for God cards. They certainly have done that in the past. Even stuff like Ra's Disciple is just generically good for just any God card deck. Mound of the Bond Creator, stuff like that. So maybe they could just release more cards that just help out the gods in general. Mechlord Deflection is pretty cool there. I don't really know though. The God cards are in sort of a weird spot where it's really hard actually making cards that take 3 tributes for a normal summon to be competitively viable. Everlasting Alloy, new Jinzo card. That's actually a pretty cool artwork there. All right. last 2 packs on the right side of the box. We've pulled 2 ultras and let's see, 3 super rares. I don't know if that's like half of what we're gonna pull. I'm not entirely sure. We have the true name. Why is this an ultra in here? Wasn't this like a super in a different set? I don't even know. Declare 1 card name, excavate the top card of your deck, and if it is the declared card, add it to your hand. Then you can add to your hand or special summon 1 divine monster from your deck. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 the true name per turn. There are some pretty funny combos with the true name and cards that flip your deck or flip the top card of your deck upside down. But yeah, realistically, I don't know if you're playing that in your God card deck, but still pretty funny. Cyber Energy Shock. Back in the day, though, I mean, I say back in the day, but for a while, the true name actually was one of the best ways to summon God cards. Now, though, with all the new support, I think you just have better options. We have Monster Reborn, Jinzo Ejector, Token Sunday, Mechlord Assembly, number 2 there, and another Mound of the Bound Creator, which is technically God card support. I mean, that's not a new card, but that card actually has been featured in a bunch of other decks. It used to be featured in Sacred Beast before Fallen Paradise, and then also we see it being played in Gishki, in any deck that plays level 10 monsters, really. First pack on the left side here, we have Boon of the Mechlord Emperor, Mechlord Emperor Weisel, Token Stampede, Mechlord Armory of whatever, and Cyber Energy Shock once again. So I don't know if that means, I don't think we pull 6 ultras per box. I think that side just had like 1 extra ultra, so maybe 2 more ultras. We have Ra's Disciple, Jurighetto, that's a fun card. That's actually the first copy we pulled of that, right? Left Arm Offering, Mechlord Army of Weisel, and Psychic Mega Cyber once again. Psychic Mega Cyber. I don't know what the rarity of all the Jinzo cards. Okay, we have Jinzo, Left Arm Offering, Holding Arms, and White Aura Bahamut. What is this? which archetype does this go with? I don't even know. 1 tuner synchro monster plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. During your turn, when this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 Divine Dragon token, Fish, Water, level 10, attack 3300, defense 3000, in defense position. Once per opponent's turn, while you control no tokens, quick effect, you can special summon 1 Divine Dragon token. If this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, while you control a Divine Dragon token, you can special summon this card in defense position. I'm very confused. Why is this card in here? I didn't even see this on the set list. There's no synchros in this set, right? What does this go with? That is so weird. It must just be like an OCG import that they wanted to put in the set. That is probably like the strangest card. I really did not know that was in there. That is wild. Also remember that we just got that new Jinzo rank 6 monster out of the Dragons of Legend complete series that I opened a couple weeks ago. So that's also probably a card that you want to play in any modern Jinzo deck if you're trying out all these new cards. Don't forget about that one. We have Mechlord Army of Granel, which, by the way, obligatory Battle Pack 3 shout out. This card's pretty good in Battle Pack 3. And we have Amplifier, Monster Reborn, the Resolute Mechlord Army, and a Wild Monster Appears. They really want you special summoning some wild monsters with this pack, which is always fun. We have Mechlord Emperor Skeel, Chaos Infinity, Mind Control, and Mechlord Nucleus Infinity Core. Gosh, we can build a Mechlord deck after this. We've pulled 2 copies of both the super rares, and Cosmos Channeling for our rare. I'm still like stuck on this card being included in here because it doesn't go with any of the 3 themes in the pack, and also there just like aren't a lot of synchros. Maybe you can summon it with like one of the new Mechlord cards. I haven't read all of them recently, so maybe that's possible, but I mean the Mechlord cards are like anti-synchro monsters usually, so that's kind of interesting to see White Aura guy in here. That is just such a strange inclusion. Not the ultra rare that I was expecting to pull. I was expecting that all the ultra rares were either God card related, Jinzo related, or Mechlord related. We have Jinzo Ejector, Monster Reborn, Boon of the Mechlord Emperor, Mechlord Astro Dragon, and Cosmos Channeling. A lot of the Cosmos Channelings in this set that we've pulled here. Getting down to the last like quarter of the box, and we have Jurighetto and Mechlord Deflection. Can we pull the alternate artwork version of Winged Dragon of Ra, or perhaps the Ghost Rare version? I don't really know, but that would be pretty cool. It is worth mentioning the Ghost Rare version is not as hard to pull as some other like Starlight Rares. It's not a Starlight Rare, it's just a Ghost Rare, but it's like 1 per case, so it's not impossible. Nice, a Ra card, okay. Millennium Revelation, very cool continuous spell. You can send one Divine Beast monster from your hand to the graveyard, add one Monster Born from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So that's how you're searching Monster Born in any God card deck, but specifically Ra is pretty good in. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard this turn. You can special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra from your graveyard with Monster Born, ignoring its summoning conditions, because remember that the Winged Dragon of Ra is the only God card, as far as the original 3 go, that prevents you from special summoning it, while Obelisk and Slifer just blow up in the end phase if you do that, but Ra is always restricted. During the end phase of the turn this effect was activated, you must send the Winged Dragon of Ra you control that was special summoned with Monster Born to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Millennium Revelation once per turn. So this card's pretty cool. I'm sure you'll see a lot of people playing it, and yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of that one. We have Reactor Slime, and I thought this card would be an ultra rare, but I guess they have, I mean, so many of the ultra rares are Winged Dragon of Ra support cards, so I guess some of them have to be supers. Meklord Army of Weisel, Jinzo, Meklord Emperor, Token Sunday, and a Wild Monster appears. I've seen all these token cards, and I guess that works with this thing, so maybe it fits into the theme that way. I'm still kind of like questioning its inclusion though, very strange. Psychic Shockwave, is that the first copy of this that we pulled? This used to be a secret rare way back in the day. Jinzo, Jector, Meklord Astro Dragon, Holding Legs, and Meklord Deflection. We are getting down to the last couple of packs here. Oh yeah, what I was saying about the Ghost Rare is that it's not as hard to pull as a Starlight Rare because it's 1 per case as opposed to 1 per 2 cases, but it is still obviously very, very hard to pull. We have Psychic Shockwave, Jinzo, Jector, Meklord Astro Dragon, Mind Control, and Meklord Astro the Eradicator for a rare in that pack. Down to the last, I don't know, 6 packs, I think. Getting pretty scary. Are we going to pull another ultra rare? I'm not really sure. On this side, we've only pulled 1 ultra rare so far. We have Mind Control, Metal Reflect Slime, Chaos Infinity, and Meklord Army Deployer Obligado, or whatever that guy was. So we pulled the second copy of that, and another copy of Makyura the Destructor. This card is pretty funny. Who remembers those 2 days when the card had its old effect? That was a lot of fun, but yeah, now it has the new effect, and it's had the new effect for like a week and a half now, so can't do anything too crazy with it. We have Metal Reflect Slime, Chaos Infinity, Meklord Emperor, and Guardian Slime. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like this card's artwork a lot. Guardian Slime is actually a pretty big key portion of what makes these cards good these days. The Ra cards. If you take battle or effect damage, you can special summon this card from your hand during damage calculation. If this card battles an opponent's monster quick effect, you can make this card gain defense equal to that opponent's monster's attack during damage calculation only. Most importantly though, if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add 1 spell or trap from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card the Winged Dragon of Ra in its text. You can only use each effect of Guardian Slime once per turn. So that searching effect is really, really strong. You can search Blaze Cannon, you can search the Millennium Revelation, you can search a lot of the new supports. That is a very powerful effect. Really good ultra rare to pull. I'm glad we pulled that one. And Cosmos Channeling for our rare. We are down to just a few packs. I'm pretty sure we are out of ultra rares. I'm pretty sure we're out of super rares. Maybe we can pull something cool though. Let's see. Meklord Emperor Skeel, Jurigato, once again, Left Arm Offering, and Meklord Army of Weisel, Reactor Slime. So we pulled a lot of the slimes. That's pretty cool. I'm glad we did pull this this ultra rare slime though, because I think this card is pretty nice. The other one that's really important is the new Egyptian God Slime Fusion monster. That one is very good as well. That kind of makes it worth playing like Metal Reflect Slime and stuff like that. We have Jurigato, Left Arm Offering, Reboot, Brain Control, and Makyura the Destructor. We pulled a playset of that, which I'm pretty excited about. It's nice just having a playset anytime a card is errata, just in case it actually is played in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You want to have that playset ready. Our last pack of the Rage of Ra box, we have Brain Control, Holding Arms, Meklord Emperor Granule, and the Resolute Meklord Army, and finally Meklord Deflection. So that was a pretty fun box. No alternate artwork Ra, no Ghost Rare Ra, but we did pull some Ra support, 3 God card support cards as far as the ultra rares, some cool supers, some nice rares as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and thank you to Konami for sending me this box. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.